so happy that you're here. I am still learning how to do all of this without much or any support. Like, I don't have someone to monitor my camera. And right now, I'm trying to figure out why I'm not seeing. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now I figured out a few things. I gotta mute my computer. Now I figured out a few things. Hush. Okay. So now I can see chats. They're really little, and I have contacts on, so I can't really see like the little tiny words. So yeah, now I'm covering up me because I don't want to like watch me talk. And now I can't even see, well, I can see me over in the mirror because this is actually my bedroom and I'm sitting on my bed. And so there's a mirror over there, so I can see me in the mirror. But anyway, long story short, we are on week 3, which is the spiritual core dimension. And I'm going to give it a few minutes to like let things propagate so people they don't miss what I'm doing. For the past, this is 3rd week, so the first week was just basically creating a foundation. Actually, I wrote my autobiography in 2015, which helped me do a lot of the inner work of healing a lot of past traumas that I experienced in my life. And then when I was in college for psychology, I wrote this for my internship, and it's a personality workbook. It helps you like understand how your personality developed so that you can address things in it to release what's not serving your higher purpose and be true to yourself. And then in 2009, there were some amazing things that happened to me that, hello, welcome. So I created a tool, it's called Core Self Inventory, and that was like, it helped me to find clarity and reach my goals effectively. Can I make you a moderator? Yes. Let's see. I appreciate that because I'd like, to avoid, can manage blocked words and change chat modes. Okay. Can view and remove chat messages. Alright, we'll try that one. Because, yeah. Right now, actually, to me, this is like one of the, they're all important, but spirituality is everything. So the less interruptions and interference that we have while we're navigating this is better. So the core self-inventory that I created, it helped me like reach my goals and make my world a better place, and that's an amazing story. But from that, I created the Exiting the Matrix course, which this was the original name of it, Whole Mind, Body, and Spirit Enrichment Course. And like, I'm doing this by myself, so I'm like, what am I gonna call it? And it's really like, there's just so many, like, let's see, it could be for high school students who, I had someone do the course and he was basically like, I wish I had this book when I was a kid. And that's the key, is that education is lacking in the United States and probably all over the world. So as a mother of 5 children, I firstly wrote this for my own children to create a legacy for my future generations, like coming through my line. Like, I didn't want what I know to disappear. Like, my father passed away. He was a highly intelligent man. He had all kinds of skills. And when he died, you know, I can't ask, there's nothing there for me to go, hey dad, you know. My kids can literally go, what would mom say? So that was one part of it, but it's really about humanity and making the world a better place in so many ways. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate that. Thank you very much for being a moderator. You're here, and I apologize. I'm a professional mover, and I don't work all the time. And so I got called in to work Monday and Tuesday, and literally in the past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I drove 12 hours and then packed the shit out of 2 different houses. Like, so energetically just and physically draining. Pays okay, but that's where I was. And I'm like, I'm not gonna get on a YouTube channel talking about spirituality if I'm not centered. So, can you, let's see, Brett, could you tell me what your criteria is for deleting messages? Because some are okay. Let's just be on the same page. All right. So it's 7:07, and all right. So we are ready. I'm gonna start reading. Oh, and I'm gonna do Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. It should be. It's like 57, page 57 to 71. So I'm not going to just read it all. I'm going to read commentary. I do want you to ask questions because but the questions I'm like going to wait until it's a proper time. Like, I like that you're moderating. I do want the questions to come in. I mean, whatever. All right, anyway. So another thing is that when I wrote this was, this copy was published in 2023. And since then, I'm not even reading from this one. The one that I'm actually reading from, hold on. I think it's 2025. To 2024. So I have so much to add now, just in the past freaking month. It's crazy. I'm getting there. Just a moment. Okay. So I may update or explain something because we need to understand, right? Spirituality there's levels of depth, you know. So this book is really about the basics, and I can see in the future creating higher level content or communities, what is it called, containers for further development of spirituality. But okay, the spiritual core dimension includes one's beliefs regarding God, deities or gods, religion, religious texts, prayer, meditation, metaphysical spirituality, faith, practices, doctrine, worship, the spiritual realm, which are spirits, angels, and ghosts, global consciousness, energy, laws of the universe, etc. There are 4,200 different religions and spiritual belief systems, and I'm sure it's growing. But the foundation, and those are known, right, of all major religions pretty much is to be kind to others. Being kind is a form of spirituality. There are also countless perspectives on what spiritual and spirituality mean. Therefore, let's review definitions from different religious, philosophical, and worldly ideologies to get a well-rounded understanding. So, Christian theology, meaning of spiritual. The origins of the word spirituality in the context of Christian theology lie in the Latin noun spiritualitas, which derived from the Greek noun pneuma, meaning spirit. And by the way, this course is online, free. So like down below there's a bunch of links, and you can literally follow along if you want to. You can go ahead, and there's a AI version of this, like, so it could read to you, and there's a podcast on there too. So anyway, because there are a lot of big words that are being used in this book, and honestly, have a dictionary, or if you have your phone, what is this word? What is that word? Always like ask, so you have deeper or clarity in the meaning of words. Okay, so spiritualitas, which derived from the Greek noun pneuma, meaning spirit. Interestingly, spirit in its original context was not the opposite of the physical or material, but of flesh, or everything that is not of God. Therefore, a spiritual person, in its original Christian sense, was simply a person within whom the Spirit of God dwelt. And 1 Corinthians 3:16 says that you are the temple of God, and His Spirit dwells in you. That's so powerful. That's literally what I live my life by. So now Buddhism, meaning of spiritual. Buddhism is a path of practice and spiritual development leading to insight into the true nature of reality. Islam, or Muslim meaning of spiritual. In Islam, spiritual development is synonymous with nearness to God. So if anyone is sharing, like, this is what I don't want you to do, Brett, is if people are sharing their opinion, their view, I'm not watching the messages coming in, but I do want people to express themselves and be able to say what, like, contradictory things is fine, because I'm not saying I know everything. I'm saying what I've learned, and I'm sharing for the betterment of humankind. Okay. Let's see. Spiritual atheist definition of spiritual. A spiritual atheist is someone who, unlike a religious person, does not believe in any God. Instead, they believe in a higher consciousness that cannot be represented as a physical being. They believe the universe governs itself through actions and intentions. This spirit flows amongst us all and connects everyone and everything on every scale. I also want people to also be able to just say whatever they want to say, because I see you're deleting all the messages. So I just let people, it's a free space to share. Because I can handle any criticism. I can choose to ignore it. Let's see. Metaphysical spiritual definition. Metaphysical spirituality is a science, philosophy, and religion, and is based on the life teachings and demonstrations of all master teachers. It seeks to understand the invisible, spiritual nature of all life, which transcends the physical, material plane in which we now live. Which I will add is that it's based on quantum physics, which is scientifically proven, and the fact that we are all energy, even God is energy. Mainstream meaning of spiritual. Spirituality is the broad concept of a belief in something beyond the self. It strives to answer questions about the meaning of life, how people are connected, truths about the universe, and other mysteries of human existence. All of these have references that are in the book that are on the website. Links below. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary definition of spiritual. Of relating to, consisting of, or affecting the spirit. Spiritual needs. A of or relating to sacred matters, spiritual songs. B, ecclesiastical rather than lay or temporal. 3, concerned with religious values. 4, related or joined in spirit, a spiritual home, his spiritual heir. 5, A, of or relating to supernatural beings or phenomena. B, of relating to or involving spiritualism, spiritualistic. Synonyms and similar words for the word spiritual: metaphysical, psychic, supernatural, incorporeal, and psychical, non-physical, non-material, invisible, immaterial, ethereal, bodiless, formless, insubstantial, unbodied. Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of spirit: as in soul. Number 1, as in soul, an immaterial force within a human being thought to give the body life, energy, and power. The theological and philosophical belief that the spirit is superior to the body. As in mood, a state of mind dominated by a particular emotion, had been in a combative spirit all week. Synonyms and similar words for the word spirit are soul, essence, psyche, vitality, life, quintessence, being. What does it mean to be spiritual to you? See, let people answer. What aspects of this core dimension are important to you to clarify, improve, or understand better? So, right now, because I have turned my phone around and now you can't see my laptop and I can't see how many people are actually on the live, I need to be able to see people saying hi. You know, hi. I'd like to know people are in here, but we'll see how this goes, Brett, because all these messages are being deleted. All right. Spirituality and religion. Are you spiritual, religious, or both? Being spiritual does not necessarily mean you are religious, and being religious does not necessarily mean you are spiritual. Most religions believe they have the truth, and some even claim that they are the only religion with a direct connection to God, yet practicing religious doctrine does not necessarily mean that you have faith or that you have spiritual experiences. Many factors will impact whether one believes in spirituality, God, and or religion. For example, you could be in the religion of your youth your entire life with unanswered questions, have little to no faith in God, and barely any spiritual experiences. Or you could be raised as an atheist and have many spiritual experiences without believing in God. Believing in and having a relationship or not with God is based on one's personal experience. When you look at the actions of what some religious groups are doing to the earth and each other, how could they possibly expect anyone to listen to them when it comes down to conforming to one belief system? The bottom line is that you get to decide what you believe. So respect other people's right to believe, to have different beliefs than you, unless it's harming others, the earth, animals, etc. Ways humans experience spirituality. One's connection with God or a higher power motivates one to act in ways that please the higher power. Training your conscience removes all self-doubt. A higher power or God is what one defines it is, since spirituality is personal experience. Worship involves paying homage, praying to, serving, bowing before, and glorifying a higher power. Service involves working toward the will of a higher power. Spirituality can also be viewed by some as having a deep appreciation for living things and nature, including feeling connected to the earth or universe, by retreating to nature, caring for animals, growing plants, enjoying the water and beautiful scenery, and vibrating at higher levels of consciousness in your daily life, etc., are all ways to connect spiritually. Spirituality also involves using tarot cards, astrology, numerology, human design, supernatural gifts, witchcraft, magic, etc. are all few ways people connect with the universe, their higher power, angels, demons, ghosts, and or God through divination and channeling. Or crystals. So, here's my definition of spirituality, which I wrote. Uh-oh, my last page. Oh. Okay. Spirituality is your connection to or experience with God, a higher power, state of being or consciousness, and or a feeling of being connected to life and or the universe itself. Spirituality is an emotional experience, a manifestation of your connection to all and everything in the universe. Anyone can reach high states of consciousness or connectedness, whether they believe in God or not. Think about it. When you pray, you believe you are speaking to God or a God, probably using a name you've been taught to use. Have you ever literally heard him speak to you in your mind? More than likely, no. If you feel connected, you will feel as if you are being guided. What is guiding you, though? Your conscience. This is what that little voice in your mind, which are your thoughts, that guides you throughout life to make decisions based on what you value and what is important to you. Your conscience is framed by your belief system. So, what or who shaped what or who shaped your belief system? This takes us back to what influenced us from birth. Our parents, our families, religion, and other influences shape our beliefs and our conscience. So when we pray or meditate, we get gut feelings, and our intuition guides us to make decisions that are in alignment with our conscience, if we have one. That's the key. If you have one. And our conscience depends on how trained it is. Based on our conscience, we will act according to what we have been taught. God, Holy Spirit, etc. are forces of energy that we feel connected to, and we will naturally align our actions as much as possible to feel approved. After years of being a devout Christian, this scripture sums everything up for me. Do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy that person, for the temple of God, which you are, is holy. That's 1 Corinthians 3, 16 and 17. The light that heals. Many religions and religious philosophies lead their followers to a light. What is that light? In Buddhism and Hinduism, it is the crown chakra or the Kundalini awakening. In Christianity, it is Jesus or the Holy Spirit. Thus, the light is the opposite of the darkness. Enlightenment involves freedom from dense darkness. And I'm going to say enlightenment also involves allowing yourself to process the darkness and move through the energy and eventually release it. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to feel any dark energy or any dark emotions. It means that when you feel those things, like waves of an ocean, to allow them to move through you. And sometimes they're not gentle. Cry it out, whatever it is. Okay, so God, gods, angels, and the Holy Spirit are all energy, right? As all beings in the spiritual and physical realm are. Could we have people put a 1 in the comments to let me know that you're enjoying or getting something from this? Thank you. Please allow all of the ones to come through. Thank you. Let me start that sentence over. God, gods, angels, and the Holy Spirit are all energy, as all beings in the spiritual and physical realm are. The light provides healing energy that is available to human beings whether they believe in God or not. The study of epigenetics and neuroplasticity has scientifically proven that we are wired to self-heal in every way with knowledge and practice, including physically, with this inner light. This light can be interpreted as spiritual energy, Holy Spirit, light source, etc. This coursework aims, yes, love it, thank you, yes, please send, you can do all the comment, or the, got some hearts. So, Brett, here's the thing, is that when people comment, that actually has a lot to do with the algorithms, and the point of this entire broadcast is to have a community where we can all express ourselves and share our truth. So I only want you to stop messages that are completely off topic. Like, I don't need to know what kind of car you have. I don't care. Okay? So please let people type anything they want as long as it's not egregiously rude. Can you let me know you understand? Wow, it says your comment was Brett, your comment was retracted. I'm taking your moderation off for a minute because I need to, I want to see what people are saying, and I don't want every single message to be deleted. Okay. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Transcendental meditation involves the process of reaching higher levels of consciousness, which allows you to heal your thoughts and emotions and even edit your genes, DNA. Who is God? Some people spend their entire life to determine who they believe God is. You will get many different answers depending on who you ask to. The Christian Bible states that God has many names and explains that there is a difference between the title God with an uppercase G and a reference to a God, lowercase g. God refers to the supreme being or creator of life from the beginning, and a God who could be anything or anyone. Please put a 1 in the comments to let me know that you are here and enjoying this reading. Who is God? Some people, I heard about that. Okay, names of God. Here are some of the many names of God in various religions. Elohim, Jah, Yah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, Hu, Hua. I wonder if that's Ha or Hawa. Almighty, all-powerful, gracious, helper, all-glorious, Jesus. Hayy, Hayyi, Rabbi, great living God. Bhagavan, Lord. Brahman, Isha, Om, or Om, spelled differently, and more. The name of God, is anyone in here? because I can't see like how many people are actually in the chat. Is anyone in here? I can't see it. So if you could just put a 1. No one is messaging. What happened? Usually people are chatting or saying something. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Okay, there's 2 people in here. Great. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I would like people to comment when you feel you want to. Okay, back to the reading. I'm on page 62. So let's see. Who is God? Okay, I read that. Names of God. So the name of God, according to the Hebrews, is YH, or YHWH. Hebrew does not have vowels, so it's only consonants. And then there is something called the tetragrammaton. So these letters means either he who causes to exist or he causes to become. The 4 Hebrew letters are the tetragrammaton. Hebrew does not have any vowels, so Yahweh or YH or YHWH has translated to Yahweh or Yehovah, the unspoken name of God for the Jews. Later, Yahweh was translated into English as Jehovah. Yahweh is also considered by some as speaking the name of God when we take a breath in and out. The name, the tetragrammaton, the 4 letters, is cited 5,410 times in the Hebrew scriptures and has been replaced with the title God or Lord. Many Bibles include information about the tetragrammaton in their preface section and report that the name has been replaced with God, which is a title, or Lord throughout their Bible. You can read the name Jehovah in Psalms 83:18 in many Bibles. So some Bibles do actually have God's name in it. Creation, evolution, or both. Christians say there is evidence that there is a creator by observing how intricately designed our earth, the human body, eyes, ecosystems, plants, etc. are. No matter how much you make your point, it still takes personal faith to believe in God and creation. Since no one has literal proof that God or a creator exists, you simply cannot force people to have faith simply because you do. Doing one's research and evaluating one's own experience is the only way to draw conclusions on these matters. Be open to alternative perspectives. For example, the movie God's Not Dead explores the debate about whether God is real or not and proposes the idea that maybe God is the one who initiated the Big Bang, since God is energy and it takes energy to create anything. Page 64. There are arguments over many religious ideologies, beliefs, and doctrines, but how productive is it? Each of us has our own spiritual experiences that lead us to our spiritual belief system, and the reality is that no one can prove their faith is the only truth of anything. The Bible and other notable works. There are many notable writings throughout history, including the Bible, Quran, Talmud, Lotus Sutra, etc., that offer perspectives on history, prophecy, science, and guidelines for spiritual development and actually physical health. Some are apprehensive to give these writings any notice due to hypocrisy in the religions that are attached to them. However, there are a lot of good things that can be drawn from them when you have an open mind. Could you put a 1 in the comments letting me know that you are here? As with anything you need, you will find things that resonate with you and things that do not. Take what you need and leave the rest. Being open to learning from a variety of sources can offer you a lot of value. They may provide sound principles that can be very beneficial to your life and worthy of reading and learning about. At the least, it can help you understand what other people believe and why they do what they do. Let observers be one without a word. That is 1 Peter 3:1. I have a lot of Bible trained knowledge. Anyway, this Bible verse is directed at wives. However, the principle can be applied to people who do not share the same faith as you. Instead of arguing over who is right, let your actions prove your faith works for you. If the opportunity arises to share your faith with others and you choose to do so, don't treat them like they're dumb or act like that you have all the answers. That's ego. Everyone learns at their own pace, and we are all at different levels. So shaming, judging, hating, or degrading others when they don't agree with you does not show respect or wisdom. It doesn't. Thank you. Just as you would appreciate others to be patient with you, you know that the kind approach will make a greater impact, especially regarding something as important as faith. Spiritual practices. There are many different spiritual practices across all religious belief systems, with over 4,200 different religions, churches, denominations, religious bodies, faith groups, tribes, cultures, movements, etc. It is important to know if one's practices are in alignment with one's beliefs, higher power, and your true self. Sometimes we go with the flow and don't question, or we don't want to stir things up with the people around us. Here are some spiritual practices that offer sound principles that are very good for living a happy, fulfilling life, whether you believe in God or not. Learning how to raise your vibration. Living with gratitude and not just saying, I'm grateful. Actually feeling grateful. You can feel grateful for the air you breathe and have the same vibrational experience as if you just won a lottery. Meditation, mindfulness, prayer, energy healing, running, walking, breathing exercises, reading spiritual books, affirmations, traveling to spiritual places, doing yoga and stretching, chanting mantras, lucid dreaming, exploring nature, living within your means, treating others as you'd want to be treated, cleanliness practices, respecting the elderly, widows, and orphans, caring for your elderly parents, respecting your parents, your wife, your husband, and people at the gas station or on the road. Many of the 10 commandments can apply to non-Christians too. Honoring parents, not murdering, not committing adultery, not stealing, not giving false testimony, not coveting, not making idols for worship, not misusing God's name, and keeping the Sabbath holy, which is actually on Saturdays. not Sunday. Prayer versus meditation. Prayer is a form of meditation. The difference between prayer and meditation is that praying is specific to praying to a higher power or God. The process is likely different. However, you can reach higher states of consciousness in both practices. Like if you don't know how to meditate, just start praying and it'll bring you to meditation. People who say they can't meditate, it's so funny. Could use prayer to enter a meditative state of mind. Chapters 4 and 5 go into detail about how to meditate. That's so funny. Meditation changes the brain and improves health. Meditation is like praying, and there are many different types of meditation practices. Some help you clear negativity, rewire thoughts, create visions, heal, get inspired, etc. There are many benefits to practicing meditation and prayer. Think about it. How has prayer and meditation helped you? Could you put a comment in the chat? Benefits of prayer. Helps us discern between busyness and fruitfulness. Provides timely direction. Open doors to opportunity. Prevents wrong decisions. Protects us from discouragement. Eliminates worry and anxiety. Reminds us how to act now. Produces peacefulness. Prevents distractions. Invites God or higher consciousness into our daily activity. Gives us energy. Gives us confidence. Sharpens discernment. Eliminates fretting. Benefits of meditation. Increases emotional strength. Reduces and helps manage stress. Helps with focus and concentration. Promotes better decision-making skills. Promotes better sleep. Helps with memory. Improves circulation. Boosts immune health. Increases self-awareness. Slows down aging. I'm 54. Regulates mood. Promotes happiness. Relieves insomnia. Improves brain functioning. Welcome if you're just joining us. I'm reading from the Exiting the Matrix Empowered Living Mastery course. I have just a few more pages to read. Relieves insomnia, improves brain functioning, improves heart health, improves self-esteem, improves self-confidence, minimizes anxiety, lowers blood pressure, manages addiction, manages post-traumatic stress, manages panic attacks, builds authenticity, manages ADD or ADHD, builds resilience, and more. So, I'm just going to pause here for a moment because that was a lot of reading, and the next section is talking about energy forces. I'm just going to check and see. So, we are right now at the day 2. So, this is the second part of day 2. And then I'll be reading about vibrational energy and then the spiritual core exploration. I'm just going to take a moment to breathe, because that was a lot of information. And if you would like to share anything right now, I'm open before I get into the energy forces. Are you enjoying this reading? I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm going to share one thing that I do every time I'm on video. I'm going to share at least one thing that I do personally to help myself. So our water, right? Water is stripped of all of its nutrients. So reverse osmosis takes everything out of the water. If water was coming out of a spring, naturally has like 90 some um, trace minerals that the body needs. And Himalayan salt, sea salt, Celtic sea salt, those actually have, and we get into this in the physical core dimension, but those salts actually have the minerals. So I basically buy water, I just get refill jugs at Walmart, so it's Primo water, which is dead water. Okay. Um, this is where the crazy part comes in. so so I will add sea salt water, or sea salt, whatever, to my water. And there's also another thing that you can do with your water to make sure that the crystals in the water, think about it, there's crystals in the water, microscopic crystals. And because we are energy, our words are energy, you can speak energy literally, and it affects the water. And there are scientific experiments showing this, like I think it's Emodu, I think that's his last name, I can't remember for sure, but he did an experiment where he had like 3 glasses of water, and he had rice in all of them. So he had rice with water, and this one he would say, I hate you. This one he would say, I love you. And this one he would ignore. And the results are eye-opening. The one where he's saying, I hate you, turned into black mold. The one he said, I love you, was clean, clear. You could drink it with the rice in there and everything. The one he ignored was brown. So, I love you, water. You will optimize my health in all its ways. Thank you. I am in gratitude. It's prayer. That's why Jesus prayed over food, to ensure the highest quality would enter the physical body for the best. Okay? So, that is a belief that I have. And it's scientifically proven. So, sometimes this whole new age, oh my God, it's all woo-woo. Yep, guess what? Jesus was kind of woo-woo. What did he do? Think about it. He had 10 fish and then fed like thousands. Does that sound like that's not woo-woo? It's not 3D. Let's say that. I don't say it every time, but it's an intention. Okay. I'm not sure who's in here still. I'm not getting any messages. What? Oh, wait. You know what? Oh, wait. I think. Yeah, I'm not getting any messages in here. It's not showing any message. I can't tell. Oh, live chat. You definitely beautiful. Thank you. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Hello. There. I don't know what was happening. I couldn't see the chats. Batman. Okay, anyway. Now, I'm going to start reading again. Unless any chats come in 30 seconds to like have some kind of connection right now. And I'm just going to stretch for a minute because sitting for long periods of time. What are we reading today? We are reading about the spiritual core dimension. And if you missed it, it says that the YouTube lives take about 24 hours to be on my website. Um, so then you get this commentary and interaction. But you can you can register in the link to read the information as is without my commentary. All right, energy forces. Many people have shared firsthand, and I'm just saying there's only a few more pages. Many people have shared firsthand experiences they've had with the spiritual realm, including ghosts, angels, and or demons. Some believe they are guided by their angels, God, or higher power, and can channel information from them. There are many instances where a person claims to have been injured or haunted by demons, angels, or ghosts. Whether these things are what they believe they are or not, they are making it clear that there are entities in their life that can either harm or do them. These beliefs are commonly believed in various religious groups. However, some people never experience anything with invisible or visible unearthly entities. Oops. Just a moment. Cultural beliefs and practices to ward off evil spirits. Cultures have diverse practices to ward off evil spirits. That is where the term God bless you stems from. I don't say God bless you for a reason. People believed that a sneeze caused someone to expel their soul out of their body. So saying God bless you or bless you was used as protection against evil spirits. There's more to that, which I'm not getting into right now, but if you look it up, it's just not even, it's lower dimensional. It's lower dimension, lower vibrational. The Hmong people, that's Hmong, they are Asian people. Okay, they believe they're people that are located in Laos, but they live in America, Minnesota, California. They practice ancestor worship. They maintain a shrine on which they burn fake money and offer fresh fruit to their ancestors to be blessed by them. They fear being cursed by them if they don't do this. Other religions also use large shrines, have statues of gods, and have various practices like the Hmong culture. You will find many practices that ward off evil spirits based on one's culture or religious beliefs. Are you struggling spiritually? If you're having difficulty because you feel that demons or ghosts are haunting you, you can break free. The Breaking Free Spiritually section covers many ways to break free from spiritual bondage and ways to break free from negative energies. Vibrational energy. The fact is that everything is energy, and energy has a positive or negative vibration, a frequency. This is scientifically proven, not woo-woo. This is a very important aspect of the human experience that many people do not understand, and it deserves a full explanation, which will be covered in the emotional section, because emotions have a frequency. I am reading from a book that I wrote, and my frequency is love. So I am reading about spirituality today. We have already covered in the past 2 weeks the foundation for what my course is built on, and also we went into personal development, how your personality was developed, understanding influence and perception, and so this week is talking all about spirituality. Many aspects of the human experience include more than just one core dimension like energy, but thoughts, emotions, and feelings are the fuel for creating positive or negative energy within and around us. Have you ever heard someone say that someone was very spirited Or have you ever walked into a room and it felt super dense or dark? That is because we are vibrating at different levels. In my opinion, if demons and angels exist, demons have very low vibrational energy, whereas angels have very high vibrational energy. Both are powerful, but lower energies are dense and dark, and higher energies are light and bright. We naturally make subconscious decisions about people we meet or when we go to a new place. However, this is more than just seeing someone and concluding negative ideas about them. This is about feeling the energy and deciding whether we feel comfortable internally, whether the vibrational energy of a room, a person, a group of people, or a place resonates with us or not. And honestly, in 2015, I went to one of my first festivals I've ever been to at the age of 45. And oh my goodness, this place was very dense. It was interesting. Like the people in the festival, they were at a campground. So all of us were like high viber energy. But they had a little, like a bar with a pool table. And I just remember walking in there and immediately felt this dense energy. It was like, oh, what the heck is going on in here? And it was like I stepped back into 1954. Because I'm at the bar. There's a couple things that happened. I'm at the bar, and I was with a black man. We were trying to get change to buy cigarettes in the machine. We were standing there for a while, and nobody, like, there's like few people, and the bartender literally just kept walking past us and refused to serve. And my gathering is because he's black. So that happened. That was weird. Like, he was literally ignoring us. And then another thing that happened, like, simultaneously, like, it was like, the energy, it was, oh my God. So the next thing that happened was, there was an argument coming from a man and a woman. And, like, how he was speaking to her was, like, so low vibrational, and she took it. That was the part that I was like, what is happening? Like, she was, like, it was just, like, you know, way back in the day, I swear to God, the whole place was, like, stuck in somewhere. Okay, so that was just a personal experience that I personally watched unfold. All right, I'm going to see what messages are on here before I get into the next part, which is spiritual core exploration. Hello. Thank you. Nice. I love your feedback. So I get into the Matrix in the first week, explaining my take on the Matrix, and I'll just give you a little snapshot. So there's multiple matrices. It's not just one matrix. I'm in a matrix right now, and I can change the matrix if I want to, depending on what I want, right? That's very basic. Another one is, and like that was a matrix, that bar. That was freaking matrix. But so there's physical matrices, but there's also societal matrices that are based on belief systems. You know, look at society and how many people are stuck in different mentalities that are based on fear, shame, guilt, and very low vibrational energy. And so exiting the matrix is exiting any matrix that really isn't resonating with you as a person who's trying to become the best version of you possible. So, like, I got divorced. I exited that matrix. Another way is, like, I lived in Minnesota for 45 years, freezing my ass off. And finally, when I had enough gumption and gave myself permission to leave Minnesota to live somewhere warmer, I exited that matrix. So it's manifesting what you really want in life as part of it. Let's see, what are other ways you can exit the matrix? Quitting a job that doesn't serve you, or like keeping you stagnant, leaving friendships that aren't positive influences. And you could turn it around. You could exit a good matrix and go to a negative one. I mean, like, I know there are people who basically they had committed a crime and ended up going to prison because they, like, in their own spiritual environment, concluded that they were meant to be in jail, to develop from the inside out, inside the jail. So it's very, it's like infinite possibilities, but it's all based on what you believe. And that's the key, because like earlier in this chapter, our beliefs are guided by our conscience, which was developed by the environment and the people around us from birth to age 5. And then after that, it was reinforced by our own choices, by the other influences, school, and lack of real education. Ta-da! So much. Thank you. The female version of Morpheus. I don't know what that subbed means. Should we ask Urban Dictionary? So, much love. I literally forgot, but I know there's a lot of shit going on in the world right now. I have a daughter who lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now. I'm sending her tons of love and protective energy, and, like, calm down. Sometimes I'm just kind of like, all right, sit down and shut up. not to like men who are stuck in these 3D mindsets that are like ego-driven and self-serving BS. Yeah, grow up. Grow up. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading the spiritual core dimension. It's like literally like 2 pages. As you read the list of words, ponder your viewpoint of each word, look up words in multiple dictionaries, or search the internet for clarity. For example, for the word religion, I typed how many religions are in the world, and learned that there are an estimated 4,200 religions, churches, denominations, religious bodies, faith groups, tribes, cultures, movements, etc. And that's just the ones that are reporting. And the article states that in the future it will be countless, because there's 8.5 billion people and we all have our own experience. So, I think that's pretty awesome. Okay, I need to stretch out. Just a moment. Alright. Write about your experience and conclusions about words. I'm just making sure I'm still live. Oops, whatever. Okay. Write about your experience and conclusions about words that stand out to you in the list. How does each word relate to you? what is your worldview of those words? There are 8.5 billion, or however many people are on the earth. That's how many worldviews there are. Okay? Because that's what people do, is like, we think that our worldview is the worldview. And it's not. It's yours. It is vital to embrace the fact that people are different. We each have our own interests, beliefs, likes, dislikes, abilities, etc. You are the only you there will ever be. Embracing your uniqueness can help you accept others as they are, because we're all at different levels of development in multiple categories of life, and we are constantly bombarded to be in boxes that we don't even subscribe to. Okay. Dictionary exercise. Write words and concepts you come across in your research that you would like to learn more about. Then look up the words and write down the meanings. Identify any aha moments or takeaways you had while doing this exercise, because it's really about those aha moments that step you closer and closer to what you are actually wanting in your life. So sometimes we have to go through these icky negative emotions, and instead of, and this is what people generally do, you have all these emotions and you're like, I don't want to feel that, I don't want to think about that. And also, people don't have time to deal with them, so there's multiple reasons. But when you actually allow yourself to just, I just learned this, it's like, it takes 90 seconds to get through an emotion. Like, if you are looking at it without allowing yourself to get into a spiral, emotion comes, breathe. 4 breaths in, or 4 seconds in, 10 seconds out. It's a full release. Do it for 90 seconds. That emotion has passed. Now, if your mind, I get into this in the emotional, but this is a spirit. It's like emotions and spirituality kind of, to me, are like very similar, because it's about energy, and emotions are everything about energy. So where was I? So getting to, I forgot where I was going with that, but I think that you understand. Assessments and resources. This is going to be the fun part. Learning about you. Assessments and resources. Assessments, like even just any like little quizzes online, tell you about yourself. If they're based on, proven scientific and information, then it's going to be helpful and beneficial. Assessments can offer insight into different perspectives of your true self. However, it is up to you if you agree or disagree with the results. At the least, they can open your mind to alternative perspectives you hadn't thought of. Researching these can help you identify aspects within yourself that you would like to modify, adapt, or remove from your current way of being or mindset. The following links include assessments and ideas for personal investigation. So on the website for this course, I changed the name, Empowered Living Mastery Course. All of these links are on there. So I'm not going to read all of these links. But, I will read them, but some of them, it's like, I'm not. Anyway, so find my religion. Answer questions to identify what religion closely matches your beliefs. Go here. Findmyreligion.com. That one's easy. So yeah, I did that one. I believe this was 2024. I think, whatever, it's in the past 5-10 years where I did this, and it said it was Gnostic, which means you have Christian beliefs, but also other beliefs that don't necessarily correlate with Christianity, and basically that questionnaire probably doesn't take into Christ consciousness, because if anything, that is my true belief system, which is based on love and quantum physics and global consciousness, how we are all connected. So, what are spiritual practices? Learn about different types of spiritual practices here. And this is a huffpost.com /entry/spiritual practice _B_1231569. I guess I will read them. What is transcendental meditation? This meditation practice is life transforming. Everyone should learn about it here. www.tm.org. Yeah, you can actually become a practitioner of transcendental meditation, and that really gets into the quantum mechanics behind rewiring your DNA, your genes. This section exposes you to different ideologies regarding spirituality. Another great way to learn more about various spiritual beliefs and abilities is Gaia.com. GAIA.com. It's like Netflix, but it is focused on spirituality. This platform explores aliens, energy, metaphysical aspects, quantum mechanics, and more. I would say that their movie selection is not the greatest. It's more like documentaries. So, let me see. Where are we at? Breaking. Yeah. So now tomorrow, I will get into how to break free spiritually. And that is the end of the reading. So I just put Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday into today because I was working a very laborious job for 2 days on top of driving 12 hours to get her done. So, I'm not sure who's in here. If you could put a 1 or do a little heart so I can know that you're here, that would be awesome. But I am done with the reading, so if you have any questions about anything that we just talked about, feel free. I'm here to support you and assist in any way possible. So yes, this is just a basic, each week is a different topic, and it's just a basic understanding. It's really for personal processing of, and I know it's a lot. That's why the course is designed for you to do it at your own pace, but I'm just reading it. I'm trying to get it out there and help people. So yes, tomorrow is the final day of the spiritual section. And then, so for 12 weeks, I'm doing Monday through Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. And I'm only going to miss if I have to work. But after the 12 weeks, by the end of this, or the basic transmission, I'm sure it's going to evolve into something else. I will continue to do lives. I'm not sure if it'll be every day, but also to understand that this course is really a foundation, and then there's another level above it. Like, so this is like level 1, and then there's a whole another book I want to write that's level 2, and then there's probably another one after that. But so So yeah. What else? You like I'm playing with my little crystal? Funny story. So in 2015, I drove from Minnesota to Oregon to San Diego trying to find where I wanted to live because Minnesota was freezing. And I had a crystal. And I mean, I'm just playing with it. I don't need it. But when I was on that journey, the crystal broke in half. And I went to a crystal shop and I showed him. I was like, "Oh my god." It like had turned a little brown and like broke in half, and like the dude like backed up like, I'm just like, "What?" You know? So like, "Oh, did it take all my negative energy that I was working through?" I mean, I looked it up. It's just basically sometimes, you know, crystals can break. So today we covered a lot. Just a little, we talked about the spiritual core dimension, basically how your conscience is guided by your belief system, which was shaped by your upbringing, and that there are 4,200 different religions and belief systems that are known right now. And another aspect is that I think that what do the question is being posed, what do I think about atheism? I actually shared something in this transmission tonight about atheism, and it's the belief system. It's the belief system that doesn't include a deity. I mean, I would say that there's no like one form of atheism. I would say if you're an atheist, you all have your own form of what it means to you. That's what I think. But I think, you know, like my ex-husband, he found his spiritual, like, I don't know, his spirituality was in nature. So gardening, being out in the woods, you know. So to answer your question, pretty basic. So I'm not sure how many people are in here because I can't see the number of people who are in here. It's hard for you to believe in God. And yeah, that's your personal experience. And do you know why? I mean, were you raised in a predominantly Christian religion that was trying to shove it down your throat, and then you just got kind of turned off? You know, I mean, that can happen because I have a lot of, I was raised in Jehovah's Witness religion, and that's a whole story. I am no longer a Jehovah's Witness, but my ex-husband was a very dogmatic, dictatorial, lorded over you kind of person, and he used the Bible to be, clout his authority over me as the submissive wife I'm supposed to be. So, we all have different experiences, and nothing is really cut and, like cookie cutter piece. I'm just sharing different things that happened to me that maybe it can help you, like, look at yourself and go, because that's really the key, is like to be able to understand yourself and why you do what you do and why you think what you think. Why don't you believe in God? I mean, God is energy. Do you believe in energy? Whether or not, so like, I'm a spiritual person. I don't need a religion. And the word church, I should have included that in here. The word church literally means the congregation. So, and scriptures talk about how when two or more are gathered in my name, His Spirit is. And then another scripture is 1 Corinthians 3:16, you are the temple of God and His Spirit dwells in you. So, I mean, even if you're an atheist, you can appreciate principles that are in the Bible, because they can actually help prevent a lot of problems when you understand it. And so, that we live in a culture, we live in a society that basically is like, you're a Christian, stay in your lane. You're a Buddhist, stay in your lane. You're this, you're that, stay in your lane. Well, you know what I say? F you. Just very plainly. I'm a human being, and actually the term is Homo sapien. So I have innate desire and energy that I want to learn. So I can learn about this religion, take what resonates, leave the rest. I learned about not Scientology. I did learn about Scientology, but I learned about Mormons, and everything was like, I was like, yeah, that resonates, and then all of a sudden they're like, but you can't drink coffee or tea or anything hot. I'm like, what? Yeah, no. That just was weird, it's like, nah. But see, that's the whole point, is that your spiritual experience is based on what you've been through and what you want to know and where you want to go with it. So I would just be true to yourself. That is the key. Be true to yourself. Don't believe something just because everyone's telling you what you need to believe, because we're in, another fact that I don't think was brought up is that when you're born into a religion, it's been proven that it's extremely unlikely you will leave that religion. Think about it. All your family are that religion, okay? If you were to say, let's just use Christianity, because 70% of Americans are Christian. Let's just say you're Christian. And you're like, you know what, this doesn't really resonate with me, but everybody I know and love are. What are they getting out of this? I don't get it. And you're like, you know what, I want to learn about Buddhism. In some religions, you're going to be kicked out. You are going to be exiled. And that fear alone will stop many. You don't want to lose your family. You don't want to lose your foundation. You don't want to be the black sheep. You don't want to be different. We have an innate desire to be accepted, especially by our family and our peers that we want in our life, right? Yes. So, religion gives power to some people of the society and allows them to rule on others and also suppress the women's. I'm not sure what you mean right there. But yes, spirituality has, or religions, not spirituality. Because you can have a religion who has doctrines, who has laid out what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable, and what's going to happen to you if you do it, which are fear-based, shame-ridden, guilty mentality, and those energies can suck you dry from any creativity and enjoyment of life, okay? But keep preaching, right? But the reality is that that's where you break free. So even though I'm going to get into that next week, yeah, you can break free. Yes, there will be. Any choice has a reaction. So any choice you make, there is going to be a reaction. Something's going to change. Some things you can't even see. But we can see why people pretend, especially around, their family. Oh my God, if my mom knew that I believed in tarot cards, wow, she just really wouldn't even talk to me ever again. I propose that even if my children, I have 5 children, so if any of my children have a belief system other than mine, okay, let's just say they want to be, it's a good example. I don't want to talk about anything that hits at home at the moment. Give me an idea, I can't think. Oh, you're okay, no worries. It doesn't matter, take a belief system. If they believe something that's different than mine, the point is, I'm going to love them regardless. I'm going to respect them regardless. And last week we got into the personal core dimension, which really, so everything is like, I'm building foundations in this course. Foundation, 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 foundation. So building momentum toward you finding your true self, basing it on your truth, your life experience. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm giving you knowledge so that you can do what feels right for you. But also know you're responsible for your choices. So don't come back and blame me. Try to sue me. Like, I'm just real. Authentic. I'm an authentic human being. Homo sapien. Sharing knowledge that took me a long time and a lot of heartache to learn, because our society doesn't teach us shit. And so I'm giving it away for free, because I want to help people and I want the world to become a better place for all of us, no matter what religion you are, no matter what color your skin is, no matter what country you live in, and no matter if you give me money or you don't. Okay? I do have an inner circle that I would like to invite you to, if you would like to, get deeper on the things that we're talking about. Those are every Thursday after the daily reading and transmission has ended. Then we would head over to that. That's in Patreon. And honestly, the amount that I'm asking for, 30 people, $50 for every Thursday to be able to get the readings, give you the knowledge, and then to be able to go into this inner circle where it's more private, more intimate. That would support me so I can do this like without missing 2 days, because I'm so exhausted from packing and driving. Like, I'm a professional mover. So I do repeat myself in the videos because, like, I know people are coming and going, and, like, you didn't hear everything yet, and it's going to take 24 hours for you to actually hear this whole transmission. So Monday, I drove 3 hours to work, and then I packed 5,000 pounds of household goods because I'm a professional mover, and then drove 3 hours home, and then found out that I needed to work again the next day, and that was 2 hours, or 2.5 hours actually, and then we packed, I don't know, it felt like the same to me, 5,000 pounds, and then drove 3 hours home. And then he was trying to get me to go today. I'm like, I'm spent. Like, by the time I get home, I'm going to bed. I literally crashed out. So, so do we have any other questions about the spiritual core dimension that you'd like to talk about? Is any of this resonating with you? Have I given you plenty of information to, like, sit with and think about? Because I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to tell you what to believe. I'm trying to share information to help you figure out what you believe. And you know, that's a personal choice and a personal experience, and how deep do you want to go? Because there are levels of depth. Like, I will tell you, this is the copy from, what did I say, 2020, hold on, yeah, 2023. So I wrote it in 2019. I revised it in 2023. I have another one that I revised, that's what I'm reading. And just in the past month, some very, very cool things have been happening. And I'm going to add that too. So I'm not gatekeeping. And that's actually what I realized that I had been doing, is like, because on a very foundational level, I've written this for humanity, my children, my friends, my family, people I love. Not out of ego, not out of, I want you to be like me. You know, I've had things people say, I've had people not do my course who know me, and like, it's fine. But, so, I forgot where I was going with that. I think I'm getting a little tired. I have been on live for an hour and a half, and not getting, or I would like more feedback from anyone who's in here of a direction to go in, because pretty soon I'm gonna get offline. But I will say, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this with people you think could benefit. I also have a version, because I created this to be in the form of a rehabilitation program for inmates. And it has like 3 other books that go with it to help them actually get rehabilitated from jail. This is focused on jail, because I believe that there's a huge distinction between people who are in jail and people who are in prison. You're going to have different experiences and needs, right? But my website is ayla-love.com, and you can learn about, I have a thing in there that's free. It's like a guide for self-love. Also, I am a light whip dancer, which is in the rave community. Yeah, I exited the matrix of thinking I can't do anything because I can do anything. Um, I'm not sure what you were meaning by asking that. You said it's exiting the matrix. What were you referring to? So yeah, I dance with a light whip, and my channel on TikTok is Electric Fairy Lights. And my last video, or my couple 2 videos ago, I'm almost at 10,000 views on one video, and before that it was like 200. But it's exciting. So exiting the matrix. Were you here for that whole explanation of what it means to exit the matrix? Because it's not just one answer. It's a long explanation, but it's anything that's not serving your higher purpose. So that could be anything, whether it's people, things, places, belief systems, internal dialogue, your own belief systems, whatever. The matrix is anything. In fact, I'm going to look up the definition. Oh, there's a link. I don't have, okay, yeah, there's a link in below the video. If you click on the little, I think it's a little arrow, and it just has a whole description in there. So it says, if you would like to do the course DIY, click this link, and then it'll take you, and you just register, and then it'll give you direct access. So yeah, you can read the whole thing all on your own, and then just use this as additional commentary and support for a community of people who want to exit the matrix in any way that really is going to serve their higher purpose, because that is the point. And right now, I'm in the process of, like, if you want the physical book, right now I think I have written on there a hard covered copy is $127. That's my birthday, January 27th, which is literally only 6 days away. So I'm into numerology, so that's what I put. Maybe I should put $27, but not the hard copy. It would be a soft copy, you know. And let's see, what other links? There's a link to do the inner circle. There's a link, actually, I just created, with the help of Claude, which is AI. Claude helped me develop a website, because I'm a web host, and I know how to do all kinds of like things with building websites and managing domains and subdomains and emails and everything. So I created the core self-inventory that I created for myself to help me get out of depression, major depression, post-traumatic stress, and all the things. Like, I would go back, if you haven't, to the beginning of these transmissions, which was 2 weeks ago, and there are various lengths. I think you can fast forward them. So yeah, and then I don't care. But then you'll get a full understanding of, like, why am I even doing this? Who are you? Who are you? You know, I wrote my autobiography. This was a healing journey of self-discovery and, like, processing all the negative emotions from my own past. And there's a lot of things that happened to me. So, blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to catch people up to speed on what this is. It's really just a loving person, a mother who cares about you, personally, and humanity, and the earth, and the air we breathe, and the food we eat. And I'm just like astonished at how disgusting this society is, actually. And I am passionate about injustice, and I'm an advocate for the underdog, the black sheep, the one who's and I'm just real. So I'm not really sure if anyone is still in here because I can't see it, the ticker of how many people are in here. Let me see. Ugh, I can't see. Let's see if I need to put anything else in here. Hello. That's a turkey. So I'm going to close with this. I know that people are suffering. I've had my fair share of suffering in my life. And the key, like, if you're trying to, you're trying to survive, you're like, oh my God, what's internally, you're just like, breathe. 4 seconds in, 10 seconds out. That alone just calms your nervous system, because it's really what we're talking about. Your nervous system. We live in a world that's like so much static. And actually, right behind between the base of your skull and your spine, there's the vagus nerve. And when you gently massage it, I'm not even sure if I'm doing it right, but this is something I just actually recently learned. But I do a lot of self-massage because regulating the nervous system is extremely important for your health. And manifesting, yes, meditating and working through the negative energy in your body, because guess what? This is something I learned. Like, I felt like I healed myself in 2015, 17. By 2017, I was like, oh my God, I just freaking healed everything. And I'm just like beaming with light and love. And over the past 10 years, it's like synchronistically more information was being brought to my attention to reinforce what I had learned. And just, it's like this strategic development of spiritual beliefs, and which are all actually based on science. And I'm just like, in the past month, crazy developments that are not even in this book yet. And let's see, what is one thing I can tell you about in the past month that's transpired for me? Lord, I can't even, it's beautiful. So here, I wrote this, let's see, December 23rd, 2025 is when I started this notebook. All of this is from spiritual development videos that just came across my awareness, and I just basically it's so amazing. Let's see, what's something simple I can share? I actually have a little whiteboard over here where I keep notes too. So the breath, reminding me to breathe, because just in December, I was still gatekeeping this information, because I was like trying to figure out, how am I going to survive? I'm trying to sell this course, I'm trying to sell these books, I'm trying to do this, but nothing's happening. I don't know how to market. People in person don't like me. Whatever chatter was going on in my mind. And so I was like in this like stress mode of like, oh, my credit's about to freaking, I don't know, I had good credit for 10 years, and now it's gonna go, and like I just had to release it. I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever happens, happens. And I came to peace with it, and I released it. And the moment I did that, it was like, bam, 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 bam. All these things happen. It's amazing, amazing. But being at ease, we live in a society that says, you don't get to be at ease. You need to go to work. You need to suffer. You need to struggle for the man. How many jobs do you have to freaking survive? You have no time to self-care. So that's a societal norm that people live by. I exited that matrix a long time ago. Long. I do not agree with the 9 to 5. I do not agree with alarm clocks. I hate them. And hate is a strong word, and I mean it. I don't want a rooster. I want to wake up naturally. So what did I learn in the past month? I want to say something like, okay, well, one thing I wrote was genuine agency. Genuine agency. Everything has to do with your internal world. And so releasing doubt. Like this is one of the things that brought up. It's like, when you were a kid, something happened that influenced you, and you made a vow. I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to believe that. I'm never. Or I am. Whatever your vow was, right? And then, life goes on, and you forget your vows. You forget sometimes. We're not perfect. We're perfectly imperfect. So, what vows did I make? I couldn't really think of any from my youth, really. I haven't delved into that deeply, but just in the past year, I realized that my thoughts about my course, trying to make money, okay, I'm divinely guided, why am I not being financially supported? Chatter. It's all chatter. It's like when you have a clean broadcast of your frequency, then there's a connection being made that is spiritual. It's alignment. So I've already known about alignment. In 2017, I felt aligned. There was a whole bunch of things that happened. It was amazing stories I have. But that doesn't mean that you're never going to have problems again. It means that you're going to experience things. But all of these experiences, all of these emotions that come up in you are opportunities to look at what is underneath that is keeping you where you're at, stuck. It's when you face those things. And remember, an emotion lasts 90 seconds unless you keep ruminating on negative thoughts. Okay? 90 seconds. So those things are yeah. So you face the things, Work through it. Breathe through it. Cry through it. Have diarrhea through it. Whatever you need to do to release it. And something also that I learned, not just this past month, but last year, is that emotional trauma is stored in the fascia. And the fascia is the connective tissue between the muscles and the bone. And so if you're feeling tightness anywhere on your body from movement, you're not, it's not loose, it's because there are emotional, traumatic energies trapped in the fascia. So when you start doing like different physical movements to like try to release anything, like you're working through the fascia, so like the thing that I have the most part is like my lower back, and that has everything to do with scarcity mindset and lack, and that's like my biggest one that I've been trying to figure out this whole time. So I do share, like I do have the financial core dimension in this, and like upcoming chapter. I'm still working on it, but that's the thing, is that we're all learning different things at different levels and different, it's just a basic framework for personal development. But I would love for you to go to the website. There's a link, and it's called the Core Self Inventory, and basically I'm creating an AI bot that's based on my course as the foundation, which is packed with love and actually valuable information. And she's called Clarity. And then, but it's a little tool that like has you do 3 different steps, and then at the end it gives you like personal support. And I'm just like, I like this book, that my course, everything is not AI. It's not from AI. I wrote it. But there's nothing wrong with AI. I mean, using AI to do things, but you should give it credit. And I don't know who's still in here. But I'm probably going to just go now because I'm just rambling. And I was just going to take a moment just to close out saying to you that the world needs more love. The world needs more love. And when I love you, and you genuinely accept it as agape love, not a romantic love. This is a principled love based on the fact that you are my brother, my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my grandma, my child. Okay? I share my love in the hope it's received, so that you can also share it with everyone in your family, everyone you come in contact with. And there are 7 different forms of love, and learning about all the different aspects of love are also foundational for having a positive influence in the world and in your life and the people you come across. So I take all of the love that I have inside me, my whole energy field, and I hug the entire planet, because that's how I feel. I feel that much love for humanity, because that's the kind of life I wish for everyone, to be at peace, to have inner peace, Namaste. I'm going to clock out now, and I will be back tomorrow, and we will be going over, how to break free spiritually, and then spiritual core assignments. Have a blessed day.